to buy.
But you can do, or use microphones, and you have your clients all rigged
I'll
for...
hook them up if it's past life, if it's political, I'm gonna hook them up.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
do it with the ones.
it's all you talking at that point.
That's right, that's right. Now, and if it's past life, I'll hook them up.
Yeah, very good, very good.
It's wireless, just like your I can get it, go out on hire, 3,000 pesos, $300-400.
Yeah,
I get the wireless set up, and go out on hire.
good, good, good.
Yeah, no problem.
Does everybody have an office now? I know you do.
At my home.
Yeah?
But it's an office. It could be anything you want.
You've been doing it at home?
I have been, I think I'm moving shortly.
Into the New Age Center?
It's actually just a massage therapy place. So I'm
Oh, okay.
going to go and see how that will work.
Oh, another place for yourself?
Where's everybody working? You got working at home, or what?
I have an office. I'm in a.
You already have a Reiki office, right?
Yeah, which is in a health and wellness with chiropractors, psychologists, acupuncture, and medical massage.
Yeah.
It's a nice space.
But I get it for us.
Yeah.
It's good to have a building.
When I did the homework, I did 2 of them at people's house, other people's houses.
Other people's
Their
houses.
comfy chairs. And
Yeah.
then, the one homework was at my house.
Cool.
She was to bed. But I don't want to have people coming in. This was a friend, so it was all right.
Yeah.
So I hooked up with a massage therapist, and I'm sort of on the list of 3 other therapists that can use that room if it's available. So, and
Very
I
good.
I go. So,
Good.
yeah.
Good, good, good. What do you have to pay?
She's only charging $25 an hour.
Yeah, well, that's what they charge even in Laguna Hills, California, which is a real exclusive area. But
To rent the room?
the metaphysical bookstore there
Wow.
rents a room. They have a whole lot of rooms, and so for $25 an hour, you can.
But she was telling me I could, we were talking about how I was going to price myself out because she's
Right.
going to put me on her website and stuff. And she thinks I should be pricing myself out at $75 like they do for therapy. And I'm thinking, okay, but then I still have to pay $25 for my room. So
Yeah.
Now you're down to 50.
So I can get $75.
Yeah.
Clinical? Is she saying clinical?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so I was trying to do the same thing she was, where you benchmark and look around, and I couldn't find anybody with their sites. I actually phoned somebody because I play with my hair, and that's one thing I want to work on this week with one of these guys if they want to help me. But I thought, well, I'll ask. That's a legitimate question. I want to get rid of this, hypnosis, how much it would cost. Called a couple places, and they just won't tell me. They're like, you have to come in for a free consultation, then we'll talk about how many sessions and blah, blah, blah. So can't you give me like a ballpark so I can start budgeting?
See, I don't like
You're like,
that.
no.
Yeah, that's
So-
deceptive.
That would be,
And this guy.
That
This is
cost
probably one
me
of the
that.
guys that passes you in the hall and goes like this, because he's on like everything, Buffalo Hypnosis, he's like everywhere. Every time I see anything hypnosis,
Right.
even in California, I was like doing some searches, he
Right.
came up, and I'm like, he's not even close to California. So I'm thinking
Really?
that
Who was the guy?
he's monopolizing, I don't know his name. I just know the site,
Yeah.
it's Buffalo Hypnosis, so.
Oh.
But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, so I was like, cool. So I was trying to find a price, and what I ended up doing was calling the local Holistic Association of Western New York, which is a community that's supposed to help, networking and helping each other, and I just asked the leader of it, or the representative, me person, I said, how much do you think I should be charging for this? You meet all these people, what do they usually, what's the standard? And then she wrote me back and gave me the name of the local hypnosis person she wants me to
Right.
actually call and ask. And they gave me all those warnings about me not being experienced and stuff, but to also not sell myself short either. So she was giving me that whole, remember to walk the fine line.
Oh my God.
that's
Okay.
Be competitive, but don't be too competitive. Remember that you're new and don't try and compete with people that are experienced.
Ah.
You know
So
what?
I'm like, I don't know, just tell me how much it is and I'll go from there.
Yeah, the way I felt about it for hypnosis is that I've been doing Reiki and I'm very comfortable because some of the elements of Reiki, the techniques used were very similar. That's why I had an interest in hypnosis. So I didn't feel like I'm inferior to someone that's been out there doing hypnosis at all because it's spirit doing it. It's not me.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
my training, and so I do have 2 pricing structures, which I don't know if that's right, but I do clinical is $120 for a good 2 hours, and then I decided to do follow-ups for like $85 if they just needed clinical tweaks, and then
Right.
$150 for past life, which is 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Oh, you're giving 2.5 hours for $150.
Yeah, because I figured by
Wow.
the time you do the conditioning, you do your little pre-talk, do the conditioning,
Yeah.
take them through the past life, get them into higher self, and then have the post feedback. you know, and by the time you check them out, you're talking a good 2.5, and you gotta
Yeah.
put that buffer in, like I said, if you
Mhm.
get someone someplace.
You might want to try to bring that up a little bit, because when you look at the hourly rate, but that may be all you can get
Well, the person I
in your
bench-
area. That's what I'm finding out, is it just varies like crazy, area to area.
Well, the woman that I liked that was similar of heart, she was 150, I think, for a past life regression of about the same time. So that's what I priced at. But, you know, and if people don't come, hey, I only want the people that need to come to me, you know,
Okay.
that are serious. So it is what it is. And if people want to know, they will pay. I figure, you know what I felt like is massage. Sometimes people go to those high-end massage parlors, or not parlors, but spas. Parlors. Excuse me.
What's the word?
The images that come up when you say that.
Massage spas. They're paying over $100 for a massage that's probably an hour, well over $100 or $100. And it's like, well, $150, you're getting past life regression for 2.5 hours, and you're getting a lot of knowledge with healing. So I don't feel guilty, because I have a hard time taking money.
Yeah.
So,
Most of them, I enjoy taking.
yeah, well, yeah.
We had
I had healing, yeah, I had healing on that. So,
Coins are just a fun.
yeah, coins.
Okay, the gal in Malibu that's charging $500
Yeah, you told us.
is selling her practice. She wants me to sell me her practice. And so, but she says, you know, it's important to me that you keep those prices up there at that point. Why?
So she doesn't look bad?
So, yeah, probably. But she's moving away. She's moving to Las Vegas, so.
To get even more money.
Well, maybe. Yeah. But $500 an hour, I'm just really amazed.
Oh, an hour.
Yeah, an hour.
My God.
And she makes them sign contracts for many sessions.
The center where I have worked out of, the lady that is doing past life there charges $55 an hour. And she only schedules like for an hour. She charges for an hour, and if it goes over, she's okay with that.
Oh, okay.
So it could be
Yeah.
a 2-hour and $55. I'm thinking, I don't think so.
No.
That's why I'm willing to go somewhere else, because I can't go in there new
Uh-huh.
and starting out.
Yeah, then you're bucking her.
Yeah.
No. You'd have to do a lot of explaining and,
Yeah.
No.
And I don't want to make her,
and I'd rather print it right out front,
right.
what the rate is, so that people who are shocked by it, you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
No. And Tara just has somebody else set it all up for her. So that person, Lindy, is doing the discussion with them on the price. And Tara often goes over, but she'll, this is it. This is it. And she will make deals sometimes, special situations, but.
Well, I think we should charge a lot, because you look at the caliber of training.
That's what I'm
Ah.
saying.
Well, yeah. Why didn't I think of that?
I think what she says Cindy says is very valid, because I mean, Susan's got mediumship and counseling training,
Mhm.
Reiki, and we all have gifts that we're bringing to it.
Have other
We're not
things,
just
certainly.
training for a few weeks and then becoming clinical.
No, I know you're not.
Features, so.
But we've also had to pay for all this training.
Right, right.
So-
Yeah, keep that in mind when you schedule it, but I know if you're way higher, unless you've got the gift of gab, like this gal in Malibu does, she's beautiful, and she's impressive about the way that she sells it, and she just has, and no, she doesn't really have any competition down there. I've never promoted around home. I just, don't do that. I promote nationally and or internationally, actually, because most of it's on the web. But I do very few ads, and so I'm not associated with the town. And I'm still not charging $500 an hour, I can tell you. Woo, I'd like to, but I think I get one client every so often.
Yeah,
Unless I'm down there really selling it up to the people, and I don't want to do that part. I'm going to, the next segment, it'll be less than an hour by the time we take it in. I'm going to play the tape. And I want you to listen to it. And I'm not remembering if it's a conditioning session here. And if so, we're going to move right past that. But this is on parallel lives. Now, this is directly going to be something that you need to have this awareness. And so I don't think any of you have the CD. And so we'll put it on, and then we'll talk about it a bunch. But parallel lives.
Now, is this are we going to be?
You'll be hypnotized.
Okay.
But you got to listen first.
Okay.
Gotta listen to that.
Thank you, Cindy.
You gonna hold for a moment?
Yeah. Want me to hold for a moment?
Well, yeah, we lost somebody to the rest of them.
Okay, we did. I'll say this is play, this is play.
You gonna check yours to make sure that you're out?
I didn't have time to watch. I brought the other one, which is similar to yours. So we'll see if it-
I got the lapel mic to add to this, unbelievable. The lapel mic picks up the client every lapel, like yeah, like it's called like a lapel of your jacket. It's a tether, it's a
That's
little
what
tiny
I,
microphone.
that's what I have for my phone.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe it picks up my voice and it's on the closet.
Oh, yeah, well, I use my own mic.
My bad.
The other one.
Just got a health food store. Somebody gave me samples of this.
And it's the blanks.
In school from State Retreat. No.
Soon. Come on. No, it's going to 2. I don't want to do that.
So we're listening to it in terms of
Yes, instead of him doing it.
kind of lecturing.
I could sit here and it's more condensed and it's better here.
I think it's on pause right now.
I know it is, but the
You
thing,
have to hit pause.
well, I'm hitting, it says play, pause.
That should be play. It's not flashing.
Come on.
That's it?
Do you know it, Kathleen? Do you know this machine?
No, I actually tried that once.
Well, we don't have a lot of choices.
Get a bigger hammer.
That's right. By God.
Mercury's in that section.
No, Mercury just went out of retrograde at 9 o'clock this morning.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Hour. Owl. It's this, it can't be this hard. And yet it's on pause. Can I hit it again?
No, it's not pause.
And now, okay. But it wasn't doing anything when you hit it
Lola Bunny. That's Bugs Bunny's girl.
first. Is there anything else that I should do?
America's cartoons.
I guess you know. I didn't know. I think he deserved one.
My client,
Welcome to the Sutphen seminars.
And now what did you do?
It is the right spot.
He's speaking his own.
and repeating himself too, which is interesting.
Fast forward version of the
Yeah, parallel lives, you were there.
think, I've got a lot of false starts here, let me know when you
I
got it.
have.
Oh,
I
I don't think you need the
false
first line or so of it.
I had a client who saw parallel.
Did you?
Yeah, the German.
Yeah. Well, this is something you're gonna run into, so.
But I asked, that's how we
Sutphen
saw it.
Seminars Parallel Lives course. I'm Dick Sutphen, and you're going.
You have to clean the CD,
It's brand new, I just took it out of the case.
then clean the, what do you call it, the disc.
Hang on, we said we would take care of it. Cindy's saying, wait a minute.
Maybe it's getting
I
old.
like that tape. I don't think
I just,
Not the CD, the CD player.
no, I grabbed CDs at the office on Sunday night and stuck the ones I wanted in the case.
The CD player.
Oh, the player? Yeah, I don't know, this looks like a pretty new
The one
player.
in Florida?
No. Oh,
Dick, I've got that tape, but I got a stack about that high that I never even went into yet. That's
You haven't even heard them?
Some of them, I'm about, got through.
I guess it still works for you then.
You know, a few months ago, I ordered $300 worth of music through,
the contractor last year.
what's his name, Jason?
Jason?
Through Jason. And
Yeah.
then I ordered
I like Greg's reading room.
a whole bunch more from
I used.
those people.
Who's that? Who's those people?
Oh, like the Niles, not the river. in Egypt.
Oh, you mean from the IHF?
Yeah.
Did they have
A
some
whole
like
mess of them I've got there.
Did they have, oh, their tapes?
Yeah, tapes and discs and CDs,
Oh, down there.
Yeah.
books and mirrors.
Shelley's.
Yeah, and including the guy that wrote it at 91 years of age.
You don't want
That's
to.
very impressive.
Well, he's,
Welcome to
he's,
the welcome to Sutphen Seminars.
a lap session.
Is that the Because I have one
She
right
reads,
now.
I know.
But it's not the CD.
I don't think it's a CD, I just
Sorry,
picked it
I
up
knew what
new
you
at
were
the
saying
office.
with the girl in the woods in the store. I knew a tree branch was gonna hit the throat.
I thought this was gonna be so easy.
Usually when I touch the eye,
What is the
it's
truth?
fixed, but now.
I don't know.
Did you
know
touch
which
the
one.
eye?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, you asked it?
it didn't do
I
it.
don't know.
no.
Whatever Spirit says so, you know.
Well, you had something in there earlier that worked, right?
Yeah,
Some of the politics.
mine did better.
Do you want me to get
You're
mine
right, yeah.
CD?
Could you do hypnosis on the grounds?
Mm,
Just said it.
You can do anything
CD,
inside the
I
national.
don't, Cindy's checking something,
Really?
but I don't know
No,
what she's
you
doing.
couldn't do Reiki or anything? Massage, anything?
I don't even know that.
The only thing you can do is meetings.
No, not.
Unless you're registered.
You have to get registered.
You're gonna take a cab and you're by the board.
This is Bliss's new album.
I might do it Saturday.
Just
Just finish. I hear your feelings.
Om Gam Ganapati Namaha.
She's not rapping.
No, so
Om Gam Ganapati
I malfunction in the
Namaha.
CD.
Or it needs cleaning, it's free.
Jai Jai
Or it
Ganesha.
doesn't mean anything.
Jai Shri Ganesha.
In his office, you can understand
Om
why she
Gam
does this.
Ganapati Namaha.
You have to wipe it out.
It's false.
If I were in there full time, I would clean that out, but it's Jason's.
I'm not knocking it. I understand you gotta have it to sell. But I didn't say sell it.
Well, I'm just playing another CD on there, so it may be just a CD.
It was a big state.
Oh,
I said, well, it's about, and she's like, nothing.
Well, let's try again.
Well, when we got,
We're gonna get to work on that one, we'll try it
Rachel
out.
stayed
Boy,
for that
thank you.
and then she realized.
Go ahead, that's all in your hands now. Thank you for noticing, I didn't even.
Welcome to the Sutphen Seminars Parallel Lives course. I'm Dick Sutphen, and you're going to be learning about the concepts of simultaneous mental incarnation. You'll explore individual
Thank you.
and altered state of consciousness session.
you didn't do that right. That's what-
Anyone interested in the subject of reincarnation needs to understand this subject to comprehend how life, death, and rebirth really works, especially in regard to the numbers. For some statisticians say there are nearly as many people now living on the earth as the sum total of all the people who have ever lived. So, there are not enough past lives to go around. So we'll begin with a concept that's difficult for many people to grasp. You are more than one person now living on the earth. It was while I was writing and researching my book, You Were Born Again to Be Together, that I met Alex, who asked me to conduct hypnosis sessions because he had experienced several dreams in which he saw his wife Louise in an unfamiliar modern setting, but she looked different. Through hypnosis and working with a trance channel, we discovered that Louise, who lived in Phoenix, Arizona, was also a woman named Mary living on a farm in Iowa. The trance channel who helped me investigate this case said, "There is a union between the two women in sleep, and often the thoughts of one are known in the mind of the other, but are considered their own. Over time, lying side by side in sleep, couples tend to align their brainwave frequencies, which creates a psychic link. While dreaming, Alex was drawing images from his wife's mind, images of her parallel self in Iowa." My book, You Were Born Again to Be Together, was published in April 1976. In the fall of 1976, Jane Roberts' book of Seth channeling, Psychic Politics, was published. Now, I didn't see Jane's manuscript and she didn't see mine, but we were writing about the same thing. Seth said, "You can live more than one life in one time. You are neurologically tuned in to one particular field of actuality that you recognize." Now here are a couple more excerpts from Psychic Politics. Seth, "If you could think of a multi-dimensional body existing at one time in different realities and appearing differently within those realities, then you could get a glimpse of what's involved." Now here's another quote. "You live more than one life at a time. You do not experience your century simply from one separate vantage point, and the individuals alive in any given century have far deeper connections than you realize. You do not experience your time-space world, then, from one, but from many viewpoints." Okay, this parallel lives concept does not conflict with the classic metaphysical understanding. It simply expands upon reincarnation and explains some inconsistencies. To start, let's go back to the beginning. Once upon a time, there was no intelligent life on Earth. But intelligence did exist in the non-physical realms of an energy gestalt we'll call God. Science says energy cannot stand still. Energy must, by its very nature, create or destroy, expand or contract. So, as an expansion of the gestalt, the cells within the great body of God divide and subdivide, always creating new energy, just as the cells within your physical body divide and subdivide. This is a good analogy for human beings, our energy structures. Now let's call the new God cells oversouls, each a part of the whole, each an individual. Each oversoul would continue to expand the God energy by continuing to divide and subdivide. But let's just explore one of the ways the oversouls expand their energy, the area that relates directly to you. As man evolved from ape to human, he developed to the point he could support intelligence, thus providing oversouls with a new channel to expand their energy. Symbolically, this was accomplished by the oversoul implanting what we'll call a soul atom within the human being. Other experiments were also conducted with physical life, including manifestation from the non-physical to the physical planes. As human history progressed and man became the dominant species, more and more bodies became available. Even oversouls who initially related to other planetary systems now explored the Earth, implanting their soul atoms in humans as potentials for physical experience, which could result in procreation and expansion of energy. In this case, although these humans would always relate to the race of man on the planet Earth, all who would follow in their lineage would retain a deep subconscious memory of other star systems. Eventually, as mankind physically procreated and more bodies became available, the oversouls began to implant their soul atoms into more than one body at a time. Now, in modern times, many oversouls are experiencing 2 or 3 physical incarnations at one time. Stated in another way, you may presently share a direct connection with 1, 2, or 3 physical projections of your oversoul. This is the concept of simultaneous multiple incarnations, which I call your parallel selves. Unless parallel lives are a reality, logically, reincarnation doesn't work, for there are nearly as many people living on the earth as the sum total of all who have ever lived. So there would not be enough past lives to go around. Now, I know those who are doing the historical counting are not taking into consideration lost civilizations such as Lemuria and Atlantis. But that isn't important. The many thousands of people I've regressed have experienced numerous past lives within recorded history. If they are representative of the rest of humanity, which I feel they are, then, numerically, reincarnation doesn't work. So considering the concept of parallels, there are only a fraction the number of people on Earth there appears to be. Take yourself as an example. You are yourself, but you also have parallel selves. Maybe you're also a young boy in Vietnam, and an old woman in Mexico, and let's say a middle-aged doctor in London, England. You all share the same lineage, which is the past life lineage of your oversoul. You and your parallel selves are connected superconsciously and may be influencing each other, although you don't realize this on a conscious level. Now let's explore this from a different perspective. Your oversoul exists on a non-physical level, and the physical lifetimes are a form of procreation and expansion of your energy gestalt. In other words, what really transpired is the cell you were calling your oversoul divided, and you are that new cell. You are one more cell in a long lineage of cells in the body of God, the part and the whole at the same time. As an example, any cell in your physical body contains your complete DNA, or pattern or makeup. If human cloning abilities were developed, as is the case with animals, you could be duplicated from that cell. In this situation, although your clone would only be part of your totality, from another perspective, it would be your totality. Your oversoul was from a direct lineage of cells or souls that led directly back to the energy gestalt we call God. Thus, you are part of God. Thus you are God, the part and the whole at the same time. You are God. Every living and discarnate individual is God. Together, we are an energy gestalt called God, an energy gestalt that continues to expand and procreate more energy. God doesn't exist on a throne in heaven. He or she is listening to this audio program. If you were hypnotically regressed to your most recent past life, you would be experiencing the life of your oversoul. If you were then regressed on back to the life before that one, you would be following your direct lineage back to your oversoul's oversoul. Now this brings up the question, what happens to you at death? Do you simply once more become part of the memory banks of your oversoul? No, absolutely not. When you die, your knowledge and energy will remain throughout eternity as you. And you are the sum total of all the lives and karmic heritage of your direct lineage of frequency. Once anything is created, it is freed. You are the extension or creation of your oversoul, and your oversoul gained expanded awareness through your earth experience. You can call that awareness karma if you want, for this is actually what it is. It is karma that you and your oversoul will continue to balance in the future. Now here is how the energy continues to create and expand. After you experience physical death, you will cross over to the other side and find that you now have oversoul status. The way you will resolve your karma and procreate additional energy is to continue the dividing process. In other words, you will implant your soul atom into a new baby with a karmic configuration that supports your learning needs. Maybe, as an example, you decide the best way to resolve your karma is to explore the potential of a Japanese businessman and a poor peasant in India. So, with the assistance of higher understanding, you implant your soul atom or essence into these lives. And these two new human beings are extensions of yourself. Once again, once anything is created, it's freed. So the two new identities will be extensions of you, but free individuals. They are on your frequency, and you will feel and experience through them. You will have to totally experience all their joys and misery, their successes and failures, their learning, which is your learning. Thus you will continue to evolve through this experience. Both of your extensions will share the same past life lineage. In other words, if they were to be hypnotically regressed in the future, they would experience a past life as you, or as one of your present parallel selves. Or they could tap in upon the earth life of your oversoul, or your oversoul's oversoul, and so on. Or to any of the parallel branches of your direct oversoul lineage, all of whom would exist on the same frequency. Obviously, this offers the potential of far more past lives than would be possible through traditional reincarnational thinking. The karma of your Japanese businessman and poor peasant in India will be to resolve the things you haven't learned in the physical. Of course, they will also be the karmic beneficiaries of all the positive or good karma you created during your physical life. When these two extensions of you die, they will create new channels of exploration of their potential. Both the Japanese and Indian will of course attain oversoul status upon their own crossover to the non-physical realms. Thus the energy continues to procreate and expand. If you examine the concepts I've related thus far, you will find that they really negate little in the area of traditional reincarnational awareness from the viewpoint of how reincarnation and karma affects your life. There is clearly no way to get away from your karmic responsibilities. Actually, this explanation of how reincarnation really works explains all the fallacies I've encountered over my years of conducting past life regressions. Fallacies in the basic and generally accepted ideas of reincarnation. An example is the numerical conflict I've already mentioned. In reality, there are only a fraction of the numbers of people living on the earth as there appears to be. And another explanation. Often, in working with extremely good regression subjects, I found them living two lives within the same or overlapping historic time periods. Research sometimes verified both existences, and both lives appeared to be influencing the current lifetime. As another example, a hypnotist friend of mine once decided to explore the life of Christ through the observations of those who were there. Through some large group regressions, he soon discovered several people who were able to relate vivid details about Jesus. Now, none were key figures in the Passion Play, but they lived during this period and provided numerous details and opinions about the Master. I felt that such odds were beyond probability and that my friend was not being objective in his research. Yet, from the perspective I've discussed, it could be quite possible for someone to tap in on a lifetime of any of those on the branches of their lineage. The probability of a Jesus link might now be within acceptable odds. All right, here's an interesting case history I wrote about in You Were Born Again to Be Together in 1976. Cherry Hartman, a psychiatric social worker for Lutheran Family Services, participated in a parallel life transference session, a group session in one of my seminars. She said she received answers to all the questions I'd asked. So at lunchtime, instead of sharing with the group, she spent her lunch hour on the phone attempting to verify what she learned in hypnosis. After lunch, Cherry shared what she learned. She said, "In the parallel life transfer, I went into a lifetime as James Arthur Phelps. I was an encyclopedia salesman, and the year was 1963. I perceived the full address, city, and state. My wife's name was Jackie. I checked this out with the help of the telephone operator and found the address to be real, but there is no one by that name living there now. I was able to talk to a woman who lives a few houses away, and she told me that a Phelps family had lived on the block 10 years ago. Also, she verified the wife's name." Were Cherry Hartman and James Arthur Phelps parallels? Extensions of the same oversoul? I believe so. I know Cherry believed this to be the case. Here's one more quick case history. This time from a 48-year-old male seminar attendee who participated in a group parallel life transference session. He said, "If I can accept this, I am also a doctor practicing in New York City. I couldn't get his name, but I guarantee you I'd recognize his offices if I were ever to see them. I saw the office door with many names on it, but they were fuzzy. Anyway, I'm probably in my late 50s or early 60s and have 3 grown children. My wife died several years ago, and I'm now living alone in an apartment in Manhattan. An interesting fact here is that in my own reality, I was a medic in the war, was good at it and learned quickly, but I saw enough human suffering to last me a lifetime. After the war, I started my own manufacturing business instead of pursuing medicine. At least this part of me did." All right. It's now time to begin your parallel life transference preparation. So in just a few moments, I'll be directing an altered state process in which you'll complete some exercises to assure you receive well in the actual parallel lives session. But first, let me share some important information. To perceive subjectively, you must trust yourself. Trust your thoughts, feelings, and impressions, because the experience is different for everyone. Few people receive dreamlike images and subjective explorations of this kind. Instead, they have thoughts or a feeling, or they hear an inner voice, or they have fantasy-like visual impressions. Others will receive a single picture, or the images change like watching a slideshow. I I've been personally regressed by some of the finest hypnotists in the country.
We'll jump right forward. You've heard that this morning, live.
Breathe deeply and relax completely. Breathe deeply and relax completely. And allow the quietness of spirit to begin to come in. And you feel the relaxing power coming into the toes of both of your feet at the same time. It's moving right on down into the ball, into your arches, into your heels, and right on up to your ankle. Completely relaxed, completely relaxed. And now feel the relaxing sensations move on up your legs to your knees, relaxing all the muscles as it goes. On up your legs now to your thighs and to your hips, permeating every cell and every atom. And you're relaxing completely, relaxing completely, keeping your full attention now on relaxing your body and on the sound of my voice. As the relaxing power now moves on down into the fingers of both of your hands, relaxing your hands. Feel your hands relaxing, and feel the relaxing sensations move on up into your forearms, and on up into your upper arm. Just completely relaxing your fingers and hands and forearms and upper arm. And the relaxing sensations now move on down into the base of your spine. Imagine a warmth in the base of your spine. And imagine it beginning to move slowly up your spine. Your spine and into the back of your neck and shoulder muscle. And the back of your neck and shoulder muscles are now loose and limp, loose and limp, just completely relaxed. And the relaxing sensations now move on up the back of your neck and into your scalp, relaxing your scalp. And they drain down into your facial muscle, relaxing your facial muscle. Now your jaw is relaxed. Allow a little space between your teeth, and your throat is relaxed. And your entire body is now relaxed all over in every way. And all tension is gone from your body and mind. All tension is gone from your body and mind. And in just a moment, we'll begin to expand your aura by balancing and charging your chakra energy center. So to begin this process, imagine a beam of iridescent light coming down from above. Visualize, create the light with the unlimited power of your mind. A shimmering white God light coming down from above and entering your crown chakra on the top of your head. This is the universal light of life energy. And you feel it stimulating your crown chakra, which is purple in color. Visualize a swirling vortex of purple as the light opens, balances, and charges this chakra. Purple light is now moving on down into your brow chakra in the center of your forehead. Visualize a swirling blue-violet vortex of energy and sense the opening, balancing, and charging that's taking place. Blue-violet color, opening, balancing, charging. And the light continues on down into your throat chakra. Visualize a swirling silver blue vortex of energy and sense the opening, balancing, and charging that's taking place. Silver blue color, opening, balancing, charging. And the light continues on down into your heart chakra, which is a golden vortex of energy. Sense the opening, balancing, and charging that's taking place. A golden color, opening, balancing, charging. And the light continues on down into your solar plexus chakra, located on your spine at the level of your navel. Perceive several shades of red, opening, balancing, and charging. And the light continues on down into your spleen chakra, located on your spine just below your navel. Perceive a rainbow of colors, opening, balancing, and charging. And the light continues on down into your root chakra at the base of your spine. Perceive reds and oranges, opening, balancing, and charging. And your chakras are open, balanced, and charged, thus expanding your aura and attuning you to the subtle vibrations that will enhance your perception of subjective awareness. And as you now focus upon my voice, vividly imagine yourself going down, 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 deeper and deeper, down, number 7, deeper, 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 down, 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 number 6, deeper, 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 down, 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 number 5, deeper, 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 down, 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 number 4, deeper, 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 down, 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 number 3, deeper, 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 down, 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 number 2, deeper, 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 down, 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 number 1. And you're just completely letting go as you continue on down, number 7, deeper, 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 number 6, deeper, deeper, count yourself up from 1 to 5 to return to full beta consciousness, feeling relaxed and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. And you're now relaxed and at ease. And you can awaken on your own at any time by counting up from 1 to 5. And now, let's practice perceiving impressions through the blackness of your closed eyes. And we'll begin by having you vividly imagine walking up to the front door of your house or apartment. Now make it real. Notice everything about the entrance, the door. See yourself inserting the key, opening the door, and stepping inside. Notice everything. And now go into the living room and imagine yourself sitting down in your favorite place. Feel the sensation. Visualize. You're sitting down, looking around, and noticing all the objects you're so familiar with. Now, if there are windows in this area, imagine yourself getting up and going over to look out the window. Go to the window and look out. What do you see? Perceive the view in vivid detail. Perceiving these impressions with your inner eyes. And in a few moments, you can use the same method of inner viewing to make up a past life regression. That's right. Just make it up to see how the process works. So you're going to regress to a historical time. And it's up to you to choose the date you go back to. Trust the first numbers that come into your mind. Choose the year now. All right, you should now have the year. And let's decide upon a country or a civilization or a geographical area to regress back to. Again, just go ahead and choose whatever comes into your mind. Next, you need to decide if you're going to be male or female in this made-up past life. So go ahead, choose male or female. All right, it's now time to move back into the past to perceive an incarnation in the year, location, and gender you've already decided upon. Vividly imagine a tunnel to your past. Imagine this tunnel now very, very vividly and begin to move back in time as I count from 5 to 1. And on the count of 1, you'll be back experiencing a situation in the past. So imagine yourself stepping into the tunnel. Number 5, you're beginning to move back in time. Feel it happening. Allow it to happen. You're letting go of the present and moving back in time. And number 4, feel yourself moving through the tunnel toward a light way down at the end. Visualize the light. Moving toward the light back in time. Getting closer and closer and closer now. Number 3. moving back in time to the date and location of an interesting event that took place in the target year. Moving through the tunnel toward the light and getting closer and closer and closer now. Number 2, you're almost there. And on the next count, you'll step out of the end of the tunnel and you'll make up thoughts or feelings or impressions about something that happened long ago in another time and another place. And number 1, you're now there. Step out and allow impressions to come in. Vividly imagine the environment. Are you outdoors or indoors? Imagine the setting. Okay, now what are you doing? What's happening? Look around, form impressions, and see if you're alone or if there are other people there with you. Let's let go of this and move on to another situation. This time, let's explore what you do in this lifetime we're now examining. Your career, or the primary way you spend your time. Vivid impressions will come into your mind on the count of 3, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, it's time to let go of this and to move on. And this time you're going to perceive yourself together with the one person who is more important to you than any other in this lifetime that you are currently exploring. New images on the count of 3, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Now remember everything you've just perceived, but it's time to come back to the present on the count of 3. Remain with your eyes closed in a peaceful, altered state of consciousness, but back in the present on the count of 3, number 1, number 2, and number 3. And you're now back in the present, and you just experienced a made-up past life, unless it was real. You'll have to judge by how easily the impressions formed and how they felt. But everyone in regression feels like they've made it up. Now, on the count of 5, you're going to open your eyes and be wide awake, fully alert, thinking and acting with calm self-assurance, feeling glad to be alive and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. And you will awaken remembering everything you perceived about the past life you just experienced. So number one, you're coming on up now, feeling your lifeblood returning to your arms and legs, your body and mind. Number two, coming on up and at peace with all life. Number three, coming on up, sensing an internal balance and harmony. Number four, coming on up, recalling the situation in the room. And number five, wide awake, wide awake. Open your eyes and feel good.
Okay, I let that part of it run because that's, I don't think we did it quite that way.
It does not matter if you made up the past life regression or not. It was only an exercise to prepare you for the following parallel life transference session. In the next session, you'll explore just as you did in the past life, only in more detail. So it's time to get ready to make the transfer.
You ready to go right back in again?
Remember, trust every thought, feeling, and visual impression. Trust, and you'll perceive vivid and valid information. All right. If you need to turn off the player to prepare, do so.
Anybody need to stop for a minute or not? All right, here you go. Into a parallel life.
Breathe deeply and relax completely. Breathe deeply and relax completely. And allow the quietness of spirit to begin to come in. And you feel the relaxing power coming into the toes of both of your feet at the same time. And it's moving right on down into the ball, into your arches, into your heels, and right on up to your ankle. Completely relaxed, completely relaxed. And now feel the relaxing sensations move on up your legs to your knees, relaxing all the muscles as it goes. And on up your legs now to your thighs and to your hips, permeating every cell and every atom. And you're relaxing completely, relaxing completely. Keeping your full attention now on relaxing your body and on the sound of my voice. As the relaxing power now moves on down into the fingers of both of your hands, relaxing your hand. Feel your hands relaxing, and feel the relaxing sensations move on up into your forearms, and on up into your upper arm. Just completely relaxing your fingers and hands and forearms and upper arm. And the relaxing sensations now move on down into the base of your spine. Imagine a warmth in the base of your spine. And imagine it beginning to move slowly up your spine, and into the back of your neck and shoulder muscle. And the back of your neck and shoulder muscles are now loose and limp, loose and limp, just completely relaxed. And the relaxing sensations now move on up the back of your neck and into your scalp, relaxing your scalp. And they drain down into your facial muscle, relaxing your facial muscle. Now your jaw is relaxed. Allow a little space between your teeth, and your throat is relaxed. And your entire body is now relaxed all over in every way. And all tension is gone from your body and mind. All tension is gone from your body and mind. And in just a moment, we'll begin to expand your aura by balancing and charging your chakra energy center. So to begin this process, imagine a beam of iridescent light coming down from above. Visualize, create the light with the unlimited power of your mind. A shimmering white God light coming down from above and entering your crown chakra on the top of your head. This is the universal light of life energy, and you feel it stimulating your crown chakra, which is purple in color. Visualize a swirling vortex of purple as the light opens, balances, and charges this chakra. Purple light, opening, balancing, charging. And the light is now moving on down into your brow chakra in the center of your forehead. Visualize a swirling blue-violet vortex of energy and sense the opening, balancing, and charging that's taking place. Blue-violet color, opening, balancing, charging. And the light continues on down into your throat chakra. Visualize a swirling silver blue vortex of energy and sense the opening, balancing, and charging that's taking place. Silver blue color, opening, balancing, charging. And the light continues on down into your heart chakra, which is the golden vortex of energy. Sense the opening, balancing, and charging that's taking place. A golden color, opening, balancing, charging. And the light continues on down into your solar plexus chakra, located on your spine at the level of your navel. Perceive several shades of red, opening, balancing, and charging. And the light continues on down into your spleen chakra, located on your spine just below your navel. Perceive a rainbow of colors, opening, balancing, and charging. And the light continues on down into your root chakra at the base of your spine. Perceive reds and oranges, opening, balancing, and charging. And your chakras are open, balanced, and charged, thus expanding your aura and attuning you to the subtle vibrations that will enhance your perception of subjective awareness. And as you now focus upon my voice, vividly imagine yourself going down, 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 deeper and deeper, down, number 7, deeper, 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 down, down, 6. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 5. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 4. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 3. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 2. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 1. And you're just completely letting go as you continue on down, on down. Number 7. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Number 6. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Number 5. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Number 4. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Number 3. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Number 2. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Number 1. And you're now very, very deep. And you feel deep. And if at any time you desire to awaken on your own, you can count yourself up from 1 to 5 to return to full beta consciousness, feeling relaxed and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. You're relaxed and at ease, and a quietness of spirit now permeates your body and mind. And we're now going to work together to establish a tie between you and another individual who is your parallel self. You may be other individuals now living, or individuals who have crossed over but once lived within the physical time frame of your life, from your birth up until this very moment. Now, if indeed you are experiencing other explorations of potential in other bodies, your own higher self is fully aware of this fact. You only use 10% of your mind, but you can use more, much more. Within the 90% you do not normally use is a level of understanding which is always aware of everything relating to you. And you can tap into this awareness if you will simply trust the impressions that flow into your mind when we complete the transference. And we're now going to establish a tie with your parallel self. You have the power and ability to allow a mental transference to take place, and you will ideally perceive an aspect of your parallel's life that will assist you to better understand yourself. You may observe through their eyes, or you may find yourself observing your parallel much as you would while standing observing someone else. But you can do this. All you have to do is trust. Trust every thought, feeling, and visualization. So if there is or has ever been a parallel extension of your soul living upon the earth during your lifespan, you will transfer in time and space to observe them. If you have more than one parallel self, each time you explore with this program, you'll experience a different parallel life. You may transfer in the present, or you may go back in time to a situation in your parallel's life that will help you to better understand the soul union you share. All right. It's time to imagine a tunnel with your inner eyes. This is a tunnel through time and space. And it can be any kind of tunnel that is pleasing to you. So vividly imagine the tunnel. And perceive yourself stepping into the tunnel and beginning the transfer as I count from 5 to 1. On the count of 1, you will step out of the end of the tunnel and perceive your parallel. So number 5, you're in the tunnel and beginning to move through time and space. Allow it to happen. Feel it happening. You're just letting go and moving through the tunnel now. Moving toward that light way down at the end. Number 4, moving through the tunnel to activate the transfer. Transcending time and space to better understand your totality. Number 3, you're moving through the tunnel to explore one of your parallel lives. And you're getting closer and closer and closer to the light at the end. Number 2, you're almost there. Almost there. On the next count, you will step out of the end of the tunnel and begin to observe another aspect of your totality. And number 1, you're now there. Step out of the tunnel and allow impressions to begin to form. Do you sense you are outdoors or indoors? If you are outdoors, perceive the environment. If you sense you're indoors, perceive the size of the room and any furnishings, windows or doorways. And now perceive your parallel very vividly. Imagine how they look. Are they male or female? And about how old would you guess them to be at this time? It's time to become aware of the year in which you're observing your parallel self. So simply trust as the numbers of the year come into your mind. The first number of the year is. Second number. Third number. And the fourth number. And you should now have the year. And now, let's explore the location, the country and city or nearest city if possible. So allow this information to simply come into your mind or trust as letters form one at a time, spelling out the location. Do this on your own. You should now have the location. And you are free to move around in time and space. So let's explore an important event that took place in your parallel's life. On the count of 3, you will move in time and observe this important situation. number 1, number 2, and number 3. Now remember everything you're observing, but it's time to find out what your parallel does for a living, their career, or the primary way that they spend their time. Vivid impressions will come into your mind on the count of 3, number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, now remember what you're observing, but let go. And it's time to understand how your parallel is most influencing you. Since there is a superconscious connection between the two of you, your parallel may have interests, talents, or learned abilities that you are perceiving through your higher mind. Vivid impressions of your parallel doing what might be influencing you will come in on the count of 3, number 1, number 2, and number 3. It's now time to perceive how you could make contact with your parallel. So be totally open and trusting. This contact information will come in on the count of 3, number 1, number 2, and number 3. It's time for you to ask your own questions and receive your own answers with thought language. Simply ask a question with a thought, and then listen for your answer as a returning thought. Do this on your own, beginning on the count of 3, number 1, number 2, and number 3. It's now time to let go of this and return to your waking world. You can always come back to further explore your personal world of parallel lives. But on the count of 3, you'll be back in the present, your eyes remaining closed in a peaceful, altered state of consciousness. So come on back now, number 1, number 2, and number 3. And you're now back in the present, and in just a moment I'm going to wake you up. You will awaken remembering everything you just experienced about your parallel life. On the count of 5, you'll open your eyes and be wide awake, fully alert, thinking and acting with calm self-assurance. You'll awaken feeling rested and refreshed, glad to be alive and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. Number 1, you're coming on up now, aware of a greater reality. Number 2, coming on up a little more, at peace with all life. Number 3, coming on up, sensing an internal balance and harmony. Number 4, recall the situation in the room. You're returning to full beta consciousness. And number 5, wide awake, wide awake. Open your eyes and feel good.
How did you do it? I should give you a couple minutes to make notes and to write down what you received. So